Hello out there, this is Wake Angel 2001 coming at you with a couple of more reviews. Remember when I said how awesome this carbide figure from Jazzwares' Fortnite toy line was? Well, if there's ever such a thing as an easy action figure to do, it would be a dude in power armor. Because power armor dudes always look good, it's easy to add articulation to them, and you know, the fact that they knocked it out of the park for him is probably like an easy one. Like, it's a high altitude park and the air is thinner and all that. So this figure is awesome, but is his awesomeness consistent with other figures in the line? So I figured I would give Jazzwares a challenge. So I purchased Drift and Technique, the girl in the wave and the dude with all kinds of cool accessories all over his body. We're going to do a review of these two figures and see if Jazzwares can do stuff that other toy lines tend to, you know, they tend to cheap out on. Of course, to prevent this video from getting overlong, I'm only going to review one figure at a time. So this review will be for Technique on her own. Let's get her out of this very collector-unfriendly packaging, which I'm going to have to go get a pair of scissors for. Alright, and here is Technique removed from the packaging, and she kinda reminds me of a character from Jet Set Radio, except with that paint roller weapon. She also reminds me of someone from Splatoon, so she's like some kind of hilarious amalgamation of an Inkling with whatever you call those graffiti roller skaters from Jet Set Radio, and I find that to be highly amusing. Alright, so Technique does... I'm going to take the weapon out of her hand. The weapon goes into her hand exactly the same way that it goes in and out of the hands on Carbide. You simply got to stretch it past her fingers, and she's made out of that kind of Jazzwares plastic that has just the right amount of give for that thing. She looks really good. Let's get a close-up of everything. Her little hood is removable. It is the softest plastic that the figure is made out of. And underneath she has this really cool hat. It says tilted? Yeah, tilted. Her face is a great paint job. Even though she has a little bang that comes down in front of her face, both of her eyes are beautifully painted. Although the shadow is being cast. But yes, they're both there. This little mask that she has is not physically attached. I'm pretty sure you could pop her head off on the ball joint and remove this. It doesn't look like you can't really stretch it up to make it look like she's wearing it. Yeah, that's one thing that it can't do, but I'm pretty sure it's just there for decoration anyway. She has these cool straps on, so like if you had a backpack accessory to plug in there, then these straps will make it look like she's actually wearing a backpack. And there's really nicely done paint splotches strategically placed on her clothes. There it is on her sleeves. There is a beautiful tattoo on her arm. Look at that detail. Holy crap, that is quite the tampagraphing. And seeing as how you're actually zooming into my thumb enough that you can see the scab on my cuticle, you can know that that's a very tiny little detail. The drawstrings on her pants are picked out. That's such a tiny little detail to pick out with paint, but they did it. And she also has more random splotches of paint on her pants, and it's not symmetrical. The left leg is different from the right leg. And look at those shoes! Really nice shoes! The paint detailing on this figure is absolutely immaculate, and all the sculpt work that goes into her little clothes are also amazing. So let's put her little hood back on. The hood doesn't really stay on too securely, but it stays on securely enough that you don't really have to worry about it. And let's break down the articulation of the figure now. Just like with Carbide, her head is a ball joint on a hinge. So using that hinge, you can get a lot looking up and a lot looking down. The shoulders, exact same ratchets. Nice range. Look at that. They go up that far. For some reason, it looks like her right arm doesn't go down quite as low as her left arm, but that's okay. Only place where she's a little bit limited, that's as far as her elbow gets to bend because of the sculpt on this sleeve here. I think they could have cut a little bit into that sculpt to give her elbow a little bit of a deeper bend. That's the only nitpick I have. It's not like the joint isn't there, it's just not quite deep enough. And there's a bicep swivel. One fault on her sculpt that I would mention is that this part of her forearm looks like it's a little too thick. And when you give how thin her bicep is up here, this makes it look like she has like a little bit of a Popeye arm going on. This could have been made a little bit thinner, although they probably didn't want the forearm to be at risk of bending and snapping, so they were probably just afraid to make it too thin. Hand is on a hinge and swivel. Same thing on the other arm, it's symmetrical. She has a wicked ab crunch. It can bend back really far, although it doesn't go forward all that much. And she still has a waist swivel, even though that ball joint in her torso basically gives her a good enough waist swivel as it is. So yeah, they gave her... She basically has an ab crunch waist swivel and another waist swivel. Very good ball jointed legs. They can go pretty far out and pretty far forward, and not that far back, but you know, a little bit back. It's not like they can't go back at all, but you know, that's what happens when you have a nice butt sculpt. And that's the one place where they cheaped out in the paint just a little bit. They didn't paint the zippers on her back pockets, but they got the drawstrings on the front. So, and like it's implied that the pockets here they're the same color, so maybe they're not actually zippers. Maybe they're just flaps with tabs. You know, hey, they got all these cool splotches. I'm willing to cut them a little bit of slack in the paint department. Thigh swivel, double jointed knee, goes all the way back. And despite the fact that there's a sneaker over there, that sneaker does an excellent job of hiding the pin disc ankle. And, well, there's ankle rotation, but given the sculpt of the shoe, she doesn't really have an ankle rocker. But given how the foot is designed, I'm willing to forgive it. That is, they sacrificed the ankle rocker for the excellent shoe sculpt, but, you know, like, it's not like they cheaped out on articulation just because she's the girl. This isn't Bandai or Playmates or anything. This is awesome. So yeah, Technique. Again, I want to preface, I don't know anything about Fortnite. I am not familiar with this character whatsoever. This toy line is winning me over solely on the awesome designs and the fantastic engineering. And in that regard, I can say that this toy is pretty freaking great. And it is kind of hilarious that her weapon is a paint roller. A paint roller which has obviously been attached to a crowbar. like... Okay, sure, why not? Let's put a crowbar on the end of a paint roller. So, yeah. That's just, it's almost cute. I like it. And, wait, there's a hook there. The hook is too small. I kind of would have liked to drape it over her shoulder. But oh well. It's still adorable. So yeah, amazing paint job. I can't believe they tamper-graphed that awesomely detailed tattoo on her forearm. Yeah, she's pretty freaking fantastic. So let us never accuse Jazzwares of cheaping out and holding back and not putting their best engineering into the girl of the wave. Because you do know a lot of toy companies will hold back and not put all their effort into the girl of the wave because they expect it to sell less. But Jazzwares doesn't play like that. Jazzwares puts their all into everything. So the only other thing she came with is this wooden stand. It's exactly the same as the one that came with Carbide, and like I said, it seems that they're designed to interlock. Hold on, they want to go together, it's just that they're wedging each other out, and got it. Aha. And yes, once they connect, they can form a hinge, so now they can be like a wall. So she has cover now. Let's see if I can get her down into a kneel. Yeah, now she's crouching behind cover. I'm pretty sure you shoot each other in Fortnite, so yeah, this is a good thing. Haha. I just did that in a split second. I bet I could actually make her balance better. I make Carbide balance in a kneeling pose. So yeah, interlocking stands. And yeah, the stands interlock so you can actually, you know, like use the pegs. Oh, right, that is the last thing I want to do is to see if she pegs. So can she peg? That would be the dumbest thing that she wouldn't be able to do. Like, she can do all the stuff, but she doesn't fit on her peg. But fear not, she fits on her peg. So, yay. Alright, so that is Technique from Jazzwares' 4-inch Fortnite line. And she is amazing and fantastic and awesome. So I would highly recommend her. They did not cheap out in the Girl of the Wave. So now, all we gotta do is take a look at Drift. See you in the next episode.